Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of In the Studio. The program is brought to you by Davis Media Access and broadcasts on Davis Community Television, that's Comcast Channel 15, and AT&T UVerse Menu 99. It's also online at dctv.davismedia.org, and we're also on YouTube. I'm your host, Lynn Weaver, and today's topic is the Go Green and Feel Good. In other words, how to shop the Davis Farmers Market without plastic bags. And we'll also talk about other interesting things happening at the farmers market. And with me, I'm very lucky to have Randii MacNear. She's the manager of the Davis Farmers Market. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thank you for having us. We'd love to be here.
Well, tell us a little bit about this campaign, the Go Green and no plastic bags allowed anymore.
Well, actually, the City of Davis passed an ordinance to ban single-use carry-out plastic bags at retail locations in Davis. That applies to the farmers market in a very limited capacity. Technically, we still are allowed to put bulk produce into plastic bags and cheese and meat.
Yes.
But the Go Green, Feel Good campaign is an effort for the market to champion trying to use less plastic bags whenever possible.
Of course.
So that's the premise is to teach people that it's so easy to just put many things into multiple plastic bags, but that really if we take a minute to think about it, perhaps we don't really need to use all those plastic bags. So we're championing this new effort for the City of Davis, we're joining in, and we're just trying to contribute as much as we can to a sustainable environment.
Well, that sounds very good, and we are going to show a video about this, but before that, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you came to be the manager. How long have you been the manager of the Davis Farmers Market?
I have been the manager for 34 years. I actually moved to Davis in 1975. I'm from the East Coast. And
Where from the East Coast, may I ask?
From Long Island.
Oh, how interesting, yes.
And I went to college in Ohio and migrated out here to the West Coast, fell in love with it, and was a big foodie and a canner, and I ate a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables and found myself at the farmer's market very early on, almost when it just began.
Well, I read somewhere that you are actually the co-founder of the farmers market in Davis.
Well, the actual three founders, I am not the co-founder, but I have been there since 1978.
Yes.
So, and started coming right when their first markets were held in 1976 in Central Park. The three founding farmers are still selling at the market, which is something we're really proud of.
Yes.
Good Humus Produce, Kepe Organics, and everything under the sun. And their farms have been with us for 37 years at the market.
And my goodness, and back there, people weren't so driven to eating fresh produce, and organic, of course, didn't exist. The word organic didn't seem to exist, at least as far as I know. And so you were an innovator all the way.
Yes, the market is definitely an innovator. Interesting that you bring up organic because the three farmers that started the market were the first organic farmers in the Kepe Valley right here in Yolo County.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, makes me very proud.
A lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
Yes, of course. And this is amazing. I'm so glad you brought that up. And so the market has been going very strong for a long time. And before we go into some details, let's watch this video, which was incidentally co-produced by Davis Media Access and the Farmers Market. So let's see if we can watch this video and then we can talk about it. Yes.
Hi, I'm Diane Perro, the Community Representative to the Davis Farmers Market Association Board. Today I'd like to show you how to shop the farmers market without using any plastic bags. So here's what we'll need: your shopping list, a shopping basket or a tote, and these reusable mesh bags. The reusable mesh bags can be purchased at the market, at supermarkets and at co-ops, and here at Davis Farmers Market we sell them for $3. At the Davis Farmers Market you can purchase this type of shopping basket for $25. Using a shopping list can help in two ways. First, it'll help you not to buy things that you don't need, and also it's a great guide to know what we need to purchase first. Okay, let's go shopping. The first thing you want to buy is pantry items that come in glass bottles or jars. So my list includes olive oil, honey, and jam. So I purchased these first so they could go in the bottom of my basket. Next, you want to get the sturdier items like beans, rice, or nuts. So I'm going to take the bag of almonds and put them in the bag directly on top of the glass bottles and jars. And then we're ready to move on to the sturdy produce. Now you're ready to purchase sturdy produce. So items like large potatoes or these onions can go directly into your basket. If you're buying smaller items like these small potatoes, this is a great time to use your mesh bag. So now you're ready to buy the produce that could be squashed or easily bruised. So today I'm choosing apricots. I'm going to put them directly into my mesh bag, and then they could go gently on top of the other items in the basket. Here I'll be purchasing greens. So this variety is going to go right on top, but I think this one will be best in a mesh bag. Also right on top, and then we're almost done. All that's left on my list are berries, flowers, and a loaf of bread. Thanks! How easy was that? With a little planning, a shopping basket, and your reusable mesh bags, you can shop the Davis Farmers Market without any plastic bags. When you get home, remember to take your fruit out of your mesh bags. Apricots, avocados, and tomatoes, those will be stored on your counter. Your greens will go in your hydrating bin in your fridge. And potatoes and onions, be sure you keep these in a bin in a cool, dark place. I hope I've convinced you that it's easy to shop the market without using plastic bags. So you too can go green and feel good about shopping at the Davis Farmers Market.
What a great video. What a great video. So organized. What an organized lady.
Yes, we worked hard to think through all the steps for you so that it would be easy for the customer to translate that into shopping at the market. What I think was so interesting was that every bit of produce that you put into each one of those little bags, if you think about it, ordinarily, before this idea, you would just pick up probably I counted 5 plastic bags to put your produce into.
That's right, at least.
So, you know, by using these bags, and some of that stuff you actually didn't even need to use a bag. You could, the market baskets are designed so that you can layer and stack things.
Yes, and these, well, Randii brought a similar basket. And they are available everywhere, and also the farmers market also sells them. So let's go through some of the key key items in this market so that we can really find them once we go to the market. So.
Right, so this is a typical market basket. This is a small one. We have larger ones also. These are what the little mesh bags look like, and you just unfold them and open them up. They are washable and reusable. And we also, the city of Davis is handing out these free shopping pads for people to be organized, and basically just kind of thinking, what can I put on the bottom first, and what can I layer up that I don't want to get, you know, squashed or run into something.
Let's put up the whole pack. Yes. And these are available at the market.
Correct.
Yes.
And we actually are giving away a lot of these. We're giving away 3,400 of these cards as an incentive to get people excited about shopping at the market and using these.
Very nice.
We hope that people will read the back of the card, because what the message we're trying to send to people is that if you use reusable bags, that could be 300 plastic bags a year that you don't use, and in your lifetime, maybe 23,000 plastic bags less per person. So
it's an amazing number.
It's a big concept.
Yes, and actually they look prettier than the plastic bags.
Yes, they are. We think they're pretty.
They're very
and they have our
sturdy.
little logo.
Very sturdy too,
Yes.
which is very nice. What else do you have in your basket?
So I have the shopping pads in the basket, and then
And those are available at the market.
Those are available at the market. They're also available at the city, and that way you can make your list according to the order that you need to go shopping in.
Yes.
According to the video.
Yes.
So you would put the bottles that you're going to buy up front, and then the potatoes and the onions.
The heavy items.
Right, the heavier items.
And the cheese, perhaps,
and the
too?
cheese, perhaps,
Yes.
and the meat.
Yes.
And then you would end with the flowers and the fruit and
strawberries.
Strawberries,
things,
really
yes.
good point, Lynn.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this helps you to organize your shopping trip.
My goodness.
Yeah, so you're not running around in circles.
What a nice thing. And hold the whole basket up, because it's a very pretty basket.
Yes, the baskets are made by a women's fair trade basket cooperative in Ghana. And so we have them because people it teaches them to shop
Yes.
in a marketplace.
Yes, and also provide some
Correct.
needed revenue for some of these
Yes.
small businesses
Yes.
in far away.
Yeah.
Yes, well, that's great. Let's talk a little bit about. I read in 2002, I believe, there was a very successful book published about the Davis Farmer Market, and more specifically, the Farmers Market Cookbook. And I believe there were two authors. Mm-hmm. One was
Ann Evans.
Ann Evans, sorry, and
Georgianne Brennan.
Yes.
Both of them are quite famous in the area.
Yes, yes, and I believe that Amy Evans was once the mayor of Davis.
Yes,
wasn't
Ann
she?
Evans was the mayor. She was also one of the founders of the Davis Food Co-op and the Davis Farmers Market. So she has been there since the beginning.
Yes.
And she's played a significant role in the market history. When she was on the council, they were the ones who approved the beautiful pavilion
Yes.
that the market is housed under, and that was, very visionary to create such a wonderful marketplace.
So we owe her
Yes.
a lot, a
Yes.
great deal. And the other wonderful thing about this book is the Farmer's Cookbook is that it received a couple of prizes and was talked about or written about in some national publications. I believe USA Today and I don't remember the other publication.
Right, there was a Beverly Hills Book
Yes.
Club Award. The book is fantastic. I mean, the premise...
Tell us about that.
I would love to.
And by the way, I believe there are some excerpts on the Farmers Davis Farmers Market website. Isn't that true? Yes.
One of the really special parts of the book is the entire history of the Davis Farmers Market is written out.
Wonderful.
And there's photos of farmers, some of the original founders, and there's a link to our website to the history of the market. The cookbook, the basis of the cookbook, which is the message that we're trying to get to people, is that eating seasonally is actually quite simple. You don't even have to change what you eat. Everybody eats burritos, everybody eats eggs, everybody eats soup, everybody eats salad. It's just what you put in it
Yes.
and what the ingredients are.
Yes.
Everybody eats hamburgers, so
Yes.
you put the tomatoes and the lettuce and the onions and some of the spreads from the market. You don't.
That's right.
It's not so complicated. You don't have to go out and buy a million different ingredients. You just eat the way you normally eat, but you use seasonal, local ingredients.
And what fascinated me about this book is that I believe there's a very limited number of recipes. I think there's 8 recipes, and there are variations of those recipes depending on the time of the year, which brings us to talk about seasonality. And you mentioned that the seasonable, way back when I was growing up in Europe, fresh food, fruit and vegetables were not so readily available year-round as they are now. And so people had to eat what was available and cook with what was available. Can you think perhaps of an example of one of the recipes? Maybe you're not familiar with some of the recipes. Yes?
So what's so fun about the way the book is organized is that it's broken up into the seasons, and so it guides you, for the types of ingredients that you could use. And the 8 recipes that you speak of are what I was talking about, like the types of food, like rice dishes and pasta dishes, and then how you take those dishes through the seasons. Omelets,
it's fascinating.
Stews, right. So one of my favorite recipes, which you actually could eat right now, is combining melon, a green melon, a watermelon, and tomatoes, and fresh mint, and I believe there's some lemon juice in there, and it's just the most refreshing and easy and fabulous summertime
soup.
It's a salad.
It's a salad.
Salad. I know. No, it's a salad.
Wonderful.
There's also a fresh corn cakes for the summertime, where you take the fresh corn and just take a little knife and cut the corn off and form it into this corn cake, corn fritter. So, the recipes are fabulous.
Of information, and it teaches children especially what to look forward to, what adults too, during the seasons, even though we are so spoiled now because we can eat whatever we like no matter when. But that sort of, it's a nice feeling to attune yourself to the seasons and to grow. After all, that's how our ancestors, when they ended up being, being hunters and gatherers, they cooked what was available in their region, and that's a fascinating part.
I mean, the way I approach eating is that I just take home whatever is at the market. I open up my refrigerator and I think, well, do I want to have some rice? Do I want to have some pasta tonight? Do I want to make an omelet? Do I want to make like a quick little stir fry, a little Asian themed stir fry? And then I just pull out whatever, any combination, doesn't really matter. It all, when the ingredients taste fabulous.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's very
easy.
creative. Yes. One thing that we ought to say perhaps is that the farmers are at the Davis Farmers Market. I think 70 or 80% of them are very small local growers, and therefore really rely on the revenue from the farmers market to continue with their enterprise. So it's very important in a way to support them in that respect. Now let's talk about the you don't only find fruit and vegetables at the farmers market. Can you elaborate a little bit about what else you can buy there?
Well, on Saturdays, the market is from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and you find we do have some restaurants that are serving breakfast foods. We have people that are cooking from the market. The breakfast sandwiches are fresh eggs and goat cheese and stewed tomatoes and braised greens on top of, in a breakfast sandwich.
So they're prepared food that you can just eat.
That's right.
Buy and eat. Yes.
So you come for breakfast. We have coffee. We always have wonderful acoustic music on Saturdays, and the market is just bustling from 8 until 1. The new playground at the park is just fantastic.
That's
for people.
right. They have a new playground, and sometimes they have pony rides and the merry-go-round. They also, it should be said that meats are sold and breads and olive oil, of course, and other things. So pretty much you can find everything you want at the
really
farmers
everything
market.
That you could eat from the market. You really could.
Yeah, and the prices are very reasonable.
Yes, and they're very fresh, and the meats are all farmstead meats, and
no
you
additives.
can talk to people that are raising the animals, that are growing everything. So it's a very it's a really great place, safe place to eat.
Yes, and it combines everything, your shopping needs with your eating needs.
Right.
You can have lunch there, and on Wednesday afternoon, and let's talk about the Wednesday evening rather. So the farmers market is not only on Saturday morning until 1 o'clock, but every Wednesday in the summer through October or November.
It starts in mid-March, the Picnic in the Park market,
yes.
and it runs through October. And there are about 12 local restaurants, some farm fresh restaurants also, like Monticello is there, serving
yes.
all local and seasonal foods.
Thai food.
Thai food.
Yes.
We have a band.
Yeah.
We
Pizza.
have pizza. We do have pizza. And so people, we have the Seroptimus selling local beer and wines
That's
from
right.
Yolo County.
That's right,
Which is really
yes.
a fun way for people to get used to drinking Yolo County wines. We do have band. We have the whole lawn. So, I mean, it's really like a county fair every
Yes.
single Wednesday
Yes.
night. That's what it feels like
Yes, and
to
full
me.
of children. I think if you want to
Yes.
see toddlers and very young children, as well as retired people,
All
and
ages.
all ages come, and there are beautiful trees and Central Park, so that you can be shielded from the sun, and it's really, and the bands are excellent. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
the bands are fantastic.
Yes. So, what are the produce that you personally cannot resist when you go to the farmers market?
Well, I love purple things for some reason.
Purple
I
things.
love figs and
Plums.
and cherries.
Yes.
Beets.
Yes.
I don't know what
All the healthy ones.
All the healthy things, all the darkest antioxidants,
Yes.
blueberries. So those are some of my favorite foods at the market. I'm a huge kale fan. I love kale. I cook a bunch of kale every morning.
That's
I just wash it, chop it, stir fry it, and stir it into my eggs, and I feel really fortified for the day. And it really doesn't take very long.
No, it doesn't. And it's also very inexpensive if you stay away from all those prepared foods that you can get at the supermarket.
Right.
I often wonder when I read about low-income people not being able to afford. Well, that is true, of course, but I think if you, through education, if you learn how to cook certain recipes, some of them are very low cost and much better for you than...
Like just cooking up some vegetables and tossing them into pasta or rice. We've really made eating too complicated. If you look at the rest of the world, they kind of eat the same foods every single day, year in and year out. Somehow we've been told that we have to eat these really complex, elaborate meals that are different every single day.
Yes.
I don't know how that happened, but really eating...
It's the nouvelle cuisine.
Yes.
I think that's what it is. But what else happens at the farmers market in way of vendors, or even... It's a way for people to express their opinions, perhaps, and their politics.
We do have that. We do have that
and especially around election time. Yes.
We have a very vigorous and healthy election campaigning area during the campaign season, and we have a lot of nonprofit groups that come and do outreach and tell people what they're doing. We, at every single market, you will find dedicated community volunteers in these nonprofits having booths at the market, and we even have the university comes out, their student groups to recruit. Say, last night there was recruiting some children for a behavioral study. So, I mean, everybody comes to the market.
Yes, it's a public place. You know, it's really like the commons in the Northeast. You had the commons where all the citizens would gather if they wanted to say something to one another. There are also jewelry, and also homemade things, you know.
We do have a limited craft area. Actually, we're quite proud of the fact that we have designed it so that they're thematic with the farmers market. So we do have review each crap before it comes in. So,
So
but
there is some
oversight, yes,
oversight.
absolutely.
Yeah, which is nice. Well, we're just about out of time. It went so quickly, and it was so interesting. If you were to say very quickly, maybe in the next minute or so, what are the challenges that the farmers market faces these days? That will be very interesting.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of people going into farming, and the hardest part for me is to not be able to take all the farmers that want to sell at the market. So that is the challenge, is that everybody wants to sell at the Davis Farmers Market, and we just...
So you actually review,
yes, there is
all
review,
the
right?
Vendors to make sure in terms of credibility, in terms of produce,
in terms of market demand and supply and mix and what we need. I also think that one of the challenges is just getting people to realize that that supporting the farmers is really the main point of the farmers market, and to encourage them to remember that when they come, and to always visit at least one farmer and walk away with some produce from the market every time that they come.
Yes, and to remember that setting up and clearing their stands is hard work.
It's hard work to be a farmer.
Very hard work, and so it will be nice to, if they go home with a little bit of revenue and less weight.
That's right,
from
a
their
lot
program.
less weight.
Well, Randii MacNear, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show, and I wish you the best of luck with your work as the manager of the Davis Farmers Market, and thank you so much for what you do for the community. It's really very nice of you, and thank you to all of you for watching the program. From all of us here at Davis Media Access, you've been watching in the studio. I'm your host, Lynn Weaver. Thank you, and see you next time.